Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Champions Cup. This one, the Harlequins taking on the Stormers. Now, already today, Champions Cup-wise, it hasn't been the best day for the South African sides. We saw a lackluster Bulls performance. We saw a rough Sharks side. But now, can the Stormers somehow redeem that South African kind of run in this Champions Cup? So far, we have seen many changes made for the Stormers in terms of their lineup due to injuries that they have got such a long list for. But in the starting lineup, first of all, we will look at the Quins side. Finn Baxter in the front row alongside Jack Walker and Simon Kerrod. Then in that locking duo, Hurst alongside Hammond, Chandler Cunningham himself at number 6, James Chisholm number 7, and Alex Dombrandt there at number 8. Danny Kerr and Marcus Smith will be the 19 combination with Northmore and Beard. In the midfield with Murley, Rodrigo Isgro, and Tyrone Green at number 15. Then for the Sharks, it is Matongo at number 1, JJ Kutsia at 2, and Sunday at 3. Moura and Evans in the locking duo with David Ewers, Willie Engelbrecht, and also Nell as the number 7. Stephen Nkura as the number 9 with Matia at 10. In the midfield, it is Duplessis and Similani with Sinetla out on the left, Angelo Davids out on the right, and Clayton Blomekes at number 15. So as you can see, many changes compared to what we are used to seeing in terms of this lineup. You know, you haven't got Sasha Feinberg, Ngome Zulu, no Mani Libok, no Damian Valimza. In terms of the fullback, no Dion Fourie, and many other changes that they have had to make. But the big question is, can they come in as underdogs at the Twickenham Stoop and cause the upset and close out this round for South African sides on a high? But do let me know what your score predictions are. Not looking forward to this one, says Grant, and that is as a Stormers supporter. So we have to wait and see how they go. I do hope it's a bit closer than the other games, though. Like that match between the Bulls and the Saints just felt like it was always going to go the way of the Saints. In terms of that Sharks game, after the first 15, they were never really in it. We need a close fixture to close this one out for our last Champions Cup live stream of the week. Hi, says Eben. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. And Harlequins to win by 12, says Neville. That honestly, and I mean, Grant can answer this as well, but Harlequins by 12 wouldn't be a terrible result for the Stormers side. When you look at the side and how much they've had to change with the players that they're missing, maybe a 12-point loss honestly wouldn't be terrible. But they have to go into this game with the mentality of trying to win. In terms of the odds for this match, we will quickly have a look at them. I believe they're actually heavily in favour of the Harlequins, but not actually as much as I thought they would be for this match. So they are still feeling like the Stormers. Oh no, there we go. That's changed quite a bit. The Stormers originally were a $2.90 underdog to go on to win this game. Now they're a $12.50 underdog. So that pretty much tells you that they're given no shot. They are the biggest underdog, I believe, now of the round. Just shows how different it can be once the lineups are announced compared to the initial reaction. And Harlequins by 15 plus, and I take a 12-point loss, says Grant. Stormers will win by 100 points, says Eben. I like the optimism. It's exactly what the Stormers need, that mentality of going out there and just going on, scoring tries for fun. This Quins side, to their credit, they've done extremely well defensively throughout this competition just at this point. They were defeated by Racing 92, 23 points to 12. But when you look at that side that Racing had on the field, that honestly could have been a lot higher. The Quins only scoring themselves 2 tries, same as the Stormers for their first week of the Champions Cup. Very similar in terms of what these two sides have done, losing by 10 and losing by 11 for their first round of the competition. So there's a chance for redemption here, looking at the way that the table sits currently. As you can see there, they are both down the bottom of the bunch, but a big win for one of these two sides would boost them, right up to, I would say, at least third for now, depending on the score margin. But a lot of pressure on the Stormers side to be able to perform. Like I said, the other South African sides, with the exception of the Lions in the Challenge Cup, just haven't really got the momentum flowing in their favour. And yes, says Evan, I've also got their Stormers have 10 minutes to keep my interest, if not them bed. And I was a Stormers fan my whole life, says Evan. So yeah, you'll be behind the boys no matter what. I hope it's a good game. We've already been in the process of doing roughly an all-nighter, and we need a good game to close it out. Or else, honestly, if no one's scoring in the second half and there are a lot of scrums, this may be the first live stream we've done that I actually managed to fall asleep during a stream. I was near it by the end of that game between the Sharks and the Leicester Tigers. I was kind of half by, getting those tired eyes going. But we should be all right for a little while at least. These two sides, they do play an entertaining brand of rugby. There will be the minute silence for Tom Voice as well at the start of this one. Did tragically pass away not too long ago. But looking through at these lineups, for anyone who hasn't seen them so far, for the Harlequin side, their backline is stacked. Danny Kerr, Marcus Smith. Then out on those wings, Rodrigo Isgro, the Argentine superstar. Tyrone Green's there. And also Caden Murley out on the other wing. Also look out for that loose forward trio. Chandler Cunningham himself, James Chisholm, and Alex Dombrandt will all bring the physicality. In terms of the Stormers starting lineup, you might notice there aren't too many familiar faces in certain positions, and that is because the familiar faces sadly have gone down with injuries. Whether that's in that back line, there's just so many to list. We could try listing half of them, but too many. In terms of the wingers, you haven't got Hudson-Berg, Lillian Zas for this game in the back. Damian Valimza, Sasha Feinberg, Ngumea Zulu, Mani Lebok. That number 9 jersey, we don't see Herschel Yankees, although we don't normally anyway. Who's the other Stormers halfback that I'm forgetting? Paul DeVette, he is not there at the moment either. Ludovic Kari, or Kair, is going to be the referee in charge of this one. We'll call him Ludovic, though, because that's a fun name to say. Oh, yeah, I've got there. So what was the breakfast? I had a hard-boiled egg. That was the extent of what I could find. So, yep, singular hard-boiled egg with a bit of water. That was the breakfast for now. Tom, I can't decide not to cross a flooded Ford Darwin Award, that one. And South African team's getting slaughtered for a change. Says Johan, yeah, it is a big difference compared to what we've seen for the URC as of late, but we are now ready to go for this match, ladies and gentlemen. Stormers kicking off long. What can they do at the stoop? Can they handle the Harlequins' pressure? Alex Dombrandt, first real carry of the day, and he's going to be driven backwards by JJ Coetzee alongside Matongo. You might have to give me some information on that man, Grant, in terms of Curry Cup. I assume he's a Western Province boy, but I haven't actually seen him play, I don't believe, unless he's been off the bench maybe for one of the contests. Now, Harlequins with the possession just outside of their 22, looking at that Stormers lineup. It's like seeing the Proteas makeshift squad that they sent over to New Zealand a year ago, says Sebastian. Yeah, it was very different than, I guess, what people would have liked to see. I mean, for a Harlequin supporter like yourself, do you look at this game and go, well, this should be a bonus point win? Or do you look at it as, we'll just take a win any way we can at this point? Marcus Smith taking it nicely at the back, sells the dummy. Oh, he's been chopped down like a tree by Low now. And the penalty goes the way of the Stormers. They could have the early 3 points here, but will 3-pointers be enough in this type of game? Or do you need the 7s? 3 points is nice, though. Might not be awful for them to go for. Nicely done by Low now. I'll take whatever we can get, to be honest, says Sebastian. That's fair enough. I take all the points on offer, says Grant there as well. Although the Sharks took an early 3, didn't they? Oh no, JJ Coetzee down with a shoulder injury at the moment. It just goes from bad to worse. It's got to be in the contract now, I would say, when you're playing for the Stormers, just to know that you're probably going to get injured at some point. Just week in, week out. Players dropping like flies for them. John Dobson looking nervous already. He's going, well, we didn't allow for that. Another injury. We're only 50 seconds past the minute mark. And he's already going like this. Is JJ Coetzee going to be all right to continue? It looks like he will be, which is great news. Looks like Yuri Matia will be the man in charge of the kicking tee for today. 2 minutes gone in this game. And new sponsors needed for them, maybe a teacup maker. Says I am nutty. Now Matia does get that one over. So the early lead for the Stormers, 3 points to 0. A good start to the match for them. They have to keep this going. Bit of a gift out in front of the post, but they will be more than happy to accept it, seeing as we are in the festive season. But now, short kickoff from the Harlequins. Oh, double blow of the whistle there. I think that's offside against the Harlequins at kickoff. Yeah, it is. So now it's going to be a scrum feed for the Stormers on the halfway line. You do not see that too often. A goal like that. Someone in front of the kicker. Yeah, he was very early on that side. Goal off the game now, says Grant. Now they've been given another opportunity on the halfway line. Stormers must save the weekend for South Africa. We should mention, though, of course, the Lions. Yes, they aren't in the Champions Cup, but getting themselves a good win in the Challenge Cup over Powell. I feel like they should get a little bit of credit, of course, for South Africa. Hamish looks like good weight to be. Says, cool story, bro. Hamish looks like good weight to be. As in, like my frame? Or as in, the scrum weight? And offside at kickoff, do the Quins want to make me F my turnip? Says Sebastian. It's one that they definitely can't afford to do on the regular. In fact, it's hardly ever called up on. Now, in the midfield, chance for Similani playing as the number 13 for this match, partnered with Jean-Luc Duplessis in the midfield. It looks like the scrum has really ripped up the turf at the stoop. Now Duplessis with his mullet, wrestled down on the halfway line. Unkura goes back across. We're hearing a little Harlequins chant coming from the stands. Angelo Davids chasing after that one, and he was more concentrated on the man than the ball. Wasn't too bad. I have Harlequins by 12 on this, as the Stormers haven't been convincing, but a positive start for them. I'm getting everything wrong this weekend except Leinster, so Stormers will probably win, says Brian. See, so far, prediction-wise, I think I've been pretty far off, although I did predict a close game between the Saints and the Bulls. I didn't predict the Saints to win, though, but I did think that they would be within 5. Chandler Cunningham himself tackled well. Stormers trying to roll out of that one with Connor Evans. Smash Gloucester. That's a shock. Says, I am nutty, going to be kicked high. Murley chasing after this and puts in the good shot on Angelo Davids. And I, folks, I'm in good form today. I went for the Bulls. They lost. Then I fancied the Sharks. They got their sorry butts handed to them. As difficult as it may be, I'm not going for the Stormers. Says Neil, and stolen there for the Quins. Alex Dombrandt, 40 metres out from the line. Danny Kerr, a lot of pressure on him. Finn Baxter. He's done extremely well to clean that ball up, and it's stolen in the breakdown from Willie Engelbrecht. The run from Matongo. And the Sharks also began with 3. That is very true. Well, Brian, I also have 12 points in favour of the Quins. Nice ball on the inside. Duplessis stepping, looking for the corner. He tries to flick it back, and that was just dumb. But then at the end of the day, he forced himself towards the touchline. Oh, it hits the crossbar from Marcus Smith and bounces dead. I believe it will still be a goal line dropout, or will it be a 5-metre scrum? It all depends on where this move actually started from. Yellow card for Bristol already. So not the greatest start. Against La Rochelle. Trying to flick it over the top. See, that's taken back. Yeah, so that will actually be a 5-metre scrum here for the Stormers. Marcus Smith tries to pass it across. It hits the top of the bag on the post. Not many seem to give Stormers any chance. Never write them off. Says Ruben Africa. Yeah, $12.50 underdogs going into this game, which is the biggest underdog, I believe, almost of the weekend. Some bizarre things happen in this game. We're not even 10 minutes in. Yeah, and most of them have been from the Quins at this point, so who knows? Maybe they're just trying to make it close, Seb, so that they can win in the last moments like they are known to do. Because, boy, they finish a game well. This Quins side. And Kura Just ball into the scrum. I say that like he's Japanese with the pronunciation. Our ball is there. Willie Ingulrich trying to break through, but a good driving tackle on him by James Chisholm. Harlequins trying to get in that breakdown. Get the turnover. Go the Stormers, says Bradley. Only 7 minutes in, going off to the left-hand side. Now Ewis playing in the number 6 jersey. We got a donation from Bill. Thank you very much, mate. The Hamish Phone Fund. It is greatly appreciated. I mentioned about it on the last live stream. I got 2 phone calls, and that drained about 43% of the battery when it was on 100%, just from hanging up twice. So that's not good. But yeah, the new phone fund, it's coming along nicely. I think it will be hopefully happening soon. And go the Stormers. There's Bradley. We see there Chandler Cunningham himself, just getting himself accidentally offside. This will be another 3-pointer if they want it. But do they? Do you go for the corner? I think you take the 3. We got to get you there, says Bill. James Chisholm, the big number 7 for this match. A strong loose forward trio for the Harlequins with Chandler Cunningham himself and also Alex Dombrandt. Now this to make it 6-0 in favour of the Stormers, which would be, like I said, a very great start. What's bizarre if this game played in England, as 26 of the 46 players are South African. Lol, says Albert. Although that's not that many when you consider like the Stormers side. I think 22 players for the Stormers are South African, so that's only 4 others that are in this match, which is Tyrone Green. You've got Herbst. And who else have we got in this game that is South African? Is it? Must be somewhere. I'm looking for him. David Ewers is English though, isn't he? I think. They could call it off now, but Seb will still be waiting for you. Says Fleshin. They definitely have a great chance, particularly as I thought Quins will win. I'm not having a good prediction weekend, says Brian. And bollocks, says Sebastian. Yeah, so Tyrone Green, Herbst is South African as well, isn't he? Then other than that, I'm a bit stumped for the South African side. Murley? No, Murley's English, I think. Ewers is a Zimbabwean, says Grant. And Stormer scorecard is already better than the Sharks, says Ruben. Now Danny Kerr. Feed this ball in again. They will be on the attack. 30 metres out from the line. Marcus Smith in behind. Nice Salah, the dummy there. Moving into the midfield. I believe that's Rodrigo Isgro. Long way off his wing at the moment. Nice Marcus Smith step. Stormers being difficult in the breakdown. Trying to lock themselves over the ball. That is Sinatla. Chandler Cunningham South. Again going to be tackled hard. Finn Baxter. Got a few opportunities for England in the international kit this year. Smith and behind goes to Rodrigo Isgro. Now moving forward. Oh, drop ball. I believe, although referee... Oh, no, now he said it's going back. If the Stormers keep kicking the penalties, you never know. It might be that kind of game. Says Brian, and come on, boys, Stormers, says Jan Lu. 11 minutes in at the moment, and it's a good start. They've got the 6 points. It's going to be a scrum feed now for the Stormers. So the Quins making a lot of early errors throughout this game. Danny Kerr and Marcus Smith. That's a combination that we might see for England again, although we're seeing some great form from Alex Mitchell for the Northampton Saints. We saw that front and centre for the game up against the Bulls, where he was extremely prominent. It sounds like he was, or he has a Welsh mum. Dombrandt's grandma is South African, says Albert. So his grandma's South African. Where are his parents from? Because I think with most people, if you go far enough back in the family tree, you'll find some sort of connection to a certain country. No, nice pass on the outside. Murley does score it. It was hard work. Mora hit him towards the sideline, but still manages to get over in the Quins strike for their first try of the game. You sound like you're giving a Stormers a chance. That's good. There's Ruben and also the try. Says Sebastian. Why are they on 10 now? Did they just score another quick-fire try? The scoreboard's very far ahead by the looks of it, as that try has just taken place. That was less than ideal, says Grant. That is true, yeah. And tell you what, it's not very often we get the game where one of you guys, for Grant, is going for one team and Seb is going for the other, like your actual team. So it's quite cool in that regard. Oh, big shot from Chandler Cunning himself, but there was the knock-on initially from the Stormers. My granddad on my mother's side was Italian. He even met the Pope, says Brian. Yeah, that's a great finish from Murley. I think they might just want to check the foot, but I believe it is all right. Now Marcus Smith from the sideline does miss away to the right-hand side, so not quite able to get it cleanly. A bit of bet on for the Stormers to not lose by more than 20 points. Another for them to score 3 tries. Says on the right. Okay, well, they've at least got, they've got a close game at the moment. And the big DHL derby, Lovin, says Fleshin. Right, kickoff now coming here from the Stormers. Kicking off long and nicely taken under the high ball. Now the floodgates open. Says Neville, there's going to be a knock-on advantage in favour of the Stormers. There we go. The scoreboard has just realised that there wasn't an extra try. Simalani in the midfield. Oh, breaking the ankles of Chandler Cunning himself with his step. And on the right, that's an achievable bet. Now loose ball again. Chandler Cunning himself manages to jump on it, but then he just drops it. Gives it straight back to the Stormers. Connor Evans. 25 metres out for the line. Mattia tries a little chip in behind, and it is claimed by Murley. My great-grandfather met Hercules, says Albert. They're live on what channel? So 201 and 211, I believe it is, for DSTV. But I could be wrong there. But I think that's the two for the DSTV. Seb and Grant are in this to lose this. Going to be knocked on by the Stormers, then knocked on by Harlequins. Referee says, we're all right, we'll keep going. Smith now, booting it downfield, looking for a 50-22. He's got a good angle on it, and that is a fantastic kick in behind for Marcus Smith. Probably makes about 50 metres, if not more. Sitting there about maybe, I'd say 30 metres out from his own line, now to be about 20 from the oppositions. Gets a strong 50-22. And I think it's been a decent enough start. Just need to keep the defence tight, says Brian. So there's a bit of an injury here for the big man Herbst, but he will be continuing, I would assume. Takes a little bit of extra effort to try and take a big man like that down. Getting his wrist flicked about. Probably just that bone right there. Having a bit of a problem for him. Generally, the Stormers play well. You don't expect them to, and vice versa, says Ruben. Yeah, and they're one of those sides, I know that they've got a lot of changes, right? And we were listing some of them before. But they're still a good side. I feel like this is more of a future team for the Stormers bats, or the one that they have when the international players are away. We're in a come on the Quins chant at the moment. That's going to be a forward pass, I think. Yes, it was. So we'll go back for yet again another scrum. This time it is going to be the scrum feet of the Stormers in this one. Slowly building into this game now. Both sides having some great moments throughout the first 16 minutes. The lone try coming for Murley out on that wing. And then for the Stormers, 2 penalties, both kicked by Mattia to get them to their 6. And that definitely beats the Pope. says Brian. Steve Borthwick, looking stone-faced as always. He looks very sad, but at the same time just looks like he normally does. Very concentrated face on him. Now Nkura going to go off to the right-hand side. They are still inside of their own 22 here, the Stormers, so they have to try and work their way up, and that is going to be the penalty going the way of the Harlequins. 3 points if they want it, but if I know anything about this Harlequins side, it's that they will keep on going. That looked like maybe Danny Keir was in front of the mark, but it's going to be play on. Little cross kick attempted, and it's gone straight into the hands of the Stormers. Bit of a foot race here. Doesn't look like Similani's got the gas. Gives it off to, it was Sinatla, and he's kicked it dead. But tell you what, Danny Keir went from doing a great move until he pretty much made a massive mistake. Hamish, South Africa, the world champion sheep cheer. South Africa are the world champion sheep shearing, I assume that is, champs, rather than sheep cheering. I don't know what that is. That is, I assume, when you applause a sheep until it bars. How does that make you feel? Honestly, I don't care. Like, my uncle probably would, because he's a shearer, but for me, you know, if South Africa want to handle more sheep and handle them quickly, go for it. Horrible pass by Similani. Yeah, I think he just didn't quite have that pace that he was after. I've never seen Borthwick that ecstatic. He just never smiles much, does he? Oh, Borthwick. He looked just completely zoned out. But 6 points to 5. They should have really scored that, the Stormers. Harlequins honestly should have scored down the other end, but Danny Keir went from 0, or pretty much hero to 0, and then, yeah, just not enough pace. If Sinatla got that first initial steal, rather than Similani, I don't think anyone would have even got close to catching him. But it was just wrong place, wrong time. Well, right place, right time, but wrong place, wrong time for Similani. But now that one's gone down in the front rows, and the penalty goes the way of the Harlequins. Danny Keir thinks twice before having another quick tap. And, of course, there's a famous Alan Shearer. I don't think he ever got near a sheep, though. Who was Alan Shearer? Was he a footballer, an English footballer? Have I got that right, or have I made that up? Might be completely wrong. One of my eyes is twitching flat out. I think that's due to a lack of sleep. We don't share our sheep in Wales. We just give them a valley wax. Newcastle legend, yes, English footballer. Here we go. Some sort of knowledge exists in my brain every once in a while. Have you seen those La Rochelle jerseys? Oh man, they are beauties. I ever look at them at halftime, but if it's got yellow on it, I'm sold. Do love myself some yellow on a kit. Harlequins have a small amount. So do the Stormers, mainly because of the sponsor. An amazing try by Jack Knoll. Says, I am nutty. It's a knock-on advantage now against the Harlequins. We're 20 minutes into the game at the moment. Already a quarter of the way down, not even before the wedding night. Says Grant. Now, cross kick attempted. Clayton Blomekes. Why are both sides trying so many cross kicks? Like, I get it, but none of them have really worked as of yet. But I guess you just keep trying till they do. So who Jack Knoll score for? He's still at the Chiefs or no? He must be at either Bristol or La Rochelle, is he? I think you'd love a Romanian jersey, the proper yellow one. I would say so. Yeah, that try was sick. I feel you know the answer to that. See, there's flesh in there as well. Borthwick. Once again, just same face. La Rochelle says, I'm nutty. Has he still got the Red Bull headgear? Jack Knoll, or is he not sponsored by them anymore? There were about 3 of them, weren't they? There were Damien Valimza. He was also a Red Bull man, I thought. For some reason, I don't know why I think that, but I think he did have some sort of deal, didn't he? I'm going back across to the right-hand side. Clayton Blomekes gets the offload to Similani. Ball is loose, picked up Salman Moura. Wrestle to the ground. A nice offload up. Nkura gets it away to low now. There is only one cross kick go, and that is Mani Libok, says Jaden. Yeah, unfortunately not playing in this game due to the head knock that he took last week. It was a brutal one. Try and bloody buy one in Romania. It's bloody hard, says Fleshen. Back across to the left-hand side. JJ Coetzee dragging along. Jack Walker with him. Only 22 minutes in. Now Willie Engelbrecht. They've made some good decisions throughout this game. That looked a little bit upright from Herbst, but he makes the tackle on his opposite number. And Salman Mora back for a drop kick here from the Stormers. Well, that ball's still alive. Now it goes out. That was a bad choice. Like, I don't know why they panicked there. They had possession. They were building phases, which is exactly what they'd need to do to eventually find the breakthrough. But then they rush it. Try and go for a drop kick that honestly wasn't even within 20 metres of going over. And now you've given a 22 dropout to the Harlequins. Football jerseys everywhere, but rugby jerseys are harder to procure. There's a big yawn. So Salman Mora dealing with a bit of an injury. John Dobson sitting there going, no, not again, boys. Like, he's only just come back. Salman Mora did have an injury while in that Springboks camp. Clermont did pretty well against Leinster, particularly as it was at the Aviva. Says Brian, yeah, a lot closer. Like, I know that most people were predicting Leinster to win that game by about 20. But, you know, it was the shoulder. I did say it was a little bit high from Herbst. Is this going to be checked? Damien Willems is sitting in the coach's box. Says Grant, but yeah, they're going to bring the TMO into it for that Herbst tackle. I would say, at worst, yellow card. I don't see it being anything more than that. I've been building my collection of jerseys, slowly adding in 2003 World Cup ones. You know, shoulder to head though. So, it could be yellow. The rugby shop was shut apparently. Then I tried to buy some football shirts or shorts at an airport, and they said, I know we don't have shorts. Here's Fleshen. Going to see the replay here again. He turns the shoulder. He gives him a bit of the, a bit of that. So I'm at yellow. Oh, that could be red, shoulder to the head, and he's upright, says Grant. The thing that might stop it being a yellow, I think, is the fact that there was a second man making the tackle, or at least trying. No, well, the second man didn't really get to him in time, did he? And please, Stormers, surprise those who wrote you off. I'm watching you from Taiwan. Here it's 4:30 a.m. Says Dion's is certainly committed to the craft, Dion. It is greatly appreciated. You being here? He's a yellow card, I think. They've just said. Will he better than Lebok in cross-kicking department? Says Eric. So yeah, Herbst, the big man. Going to be making his way off the field for the next 10 minutes. The perfect opportunity for the Stormers to add points. They will also now have the opportunity to add 3 from where that kick or that penalty was. They'll be a little bit disappointed. It is just the yellow rather than the red card. He is not happy about it. This ref does not know his colours. Eric, you are talking pure nonsense, my guy, says Jaden. Although, to be fair, at times, Villy LaRue goes all right. Like Mani Lebok, of course, when he did that no-look cross kick to Kurtley Ardense, that was definitely like a try of the year candidate. But like Villy LaRue, every once in a while, when he's getting them right, he can be extremely lethal with them. But yeah, I think that both of them, honestly, when they're both in the starting lineup, you're going to have a good day with the kicking. Just maybe not off the tee. Well, I'd say European country is Georgia. You're not from that big city up north, says Fleshen. Right, the time is off again. The Stormers keep it tight. I think they do now. They're in with a chance. Yeah, they just have to make sure they're not down by more than 5 at half time. And if they are leading by 5 or more, it would be perfect for them. But they cannot discount this Quins side. They are known for making comebacks. Who got the yellow card? It was Ernie Herbst, the number 4 for the Harlequins. Now Duplessis hit hard, all crawling forward, 5 minutes from the try line. Here comes Sanatla. Pick and go, round the side from Matongo. Now Sunday. Slowly building here for the Stormers, Willie Engelbrecht. Tackled by James Chisholm. Now Nkura again. Going across to Matongo. On the side, Salman Mora. Oh, that's a big tackle off the ball there from one of the Stormers players. I'm not too sure what Sunday was doing there. Maybe he was joined in the breakdown. Yes, and I think the people in the sports stores don't even know what rugby was. Oh, hang on. Penalty goes against Sunday for a tackle off the ball from the Harlequins. From Sunday. Yeah, tackled a long way off the ball here. Yeah, there it is. Continues on with it way past the ball. And that hurts, because that could have been an easy 3 for the Stormers. Truth hurts. What Willie forgot already in cross kicks. Amani is still learning. How much my DNA test shows I have above average Orangutan and Neanderthal genes in me, or what do you have? No idea. In terms of like DNA wise. Or is that orangutan? Now, that seems like an interesting test. An easiest way to avoid anger is buying one online. I spares you a lot of frustration. I learnt that the hard way. And Georgia is quite European in outlook, but it's east of Turkey, so I think it's Asia Minor, says Brian. 25 minutes, another injury happening. Just making sure that, I think it's JJ Kutzia, who's once again having a few issues. Haven't seen a huge amount of Tyrone Green as of yet, I will mention, for the Harlequins. Same can be said, though, about Clayton Blumekes for the Stormers. Jack Walker, it is actually him who was injured. He is all right to continue by the looks of it. Villy has a lot of experience, I know, but Marnie is the best attacking number 10 for South Africa. I would agree with that. Like, I know a lot of people are saying that Sasha Feinberg, Ngome Zulu will be their best 10 for attack-wise, but Marnie, in terms of how many tries extra the Springboks have scored when that man's at 10, compared to that period beforehand, is massive. Yes, you're right. I would like to see more of Georgia. The team has a lot of potential. Hello from Ireland. Padraig here. Says Padraig, welcome in. I think that's another knock on from Chandler Cunning himself. He can't seem to keep the ball in his grasp today. Come on, Stormers. I still believe you can and will do it. Bring a win home. Oh, Tyrone Green just dropping that ball backwards. And kicking it down the middle of the field. Nicely picked up by Matia. Goes across to Clayton Blomekes. It's as if, with me mentioning that neither fullback had really touched the ball, straight away within 30 seconds, both of them get it. Nkura now going back away to the left-hand side. Sanatla with pure pace. Wanted Similani but couldn't find their hands. Hamish, what is your time? It is currently 9:34 a.m. Which is why one of the eyes is twitching a little bit. We've only really snuck maybe 1.5 hours sleep if we're lucky throughout the night. So it's been a pretty long one. South African team struggling against the English side so far. Says Sighted. There's some really good pace being shown by Sanatla. As always, that man has wheels for days. 13 minutes remaining in this first half. Claimed by Chisholm for the line out. That was close to forward. And it's sent Dombrand. In fact, no, sorry. It's actually their number 12, Luke Northmore, straight through the gap. Now, Danny Kerr, there is an advantage inside, or on the advantage of the Quins. Cross kick cleaned up by Blomekes. These DNA tests. What did your forefathers shag, lol? Says Albert. And we'll go back now for the penalty yet again. Do they take the 3 here, the Quins, or do they go for the 7? I think they've got to go for 7. If I'm honest. Cheetahs losing to Cardiff as well at the moment. How many other South African sides we got? We've got the 5. Is there another one in the Challenge Cup? Or is that all? Are the HARLEQUINS in the Challenge Cup? I can't remember if they're in there. The Cheetahs losing to Cardiff. Anything with a pulse says Gurno Eat, but that is a great kick from Marcus Smith. 10 metres out from the line now in the perfect position for the Harlequins to mount an offense, I should say. Rodrigo Isgro just having a bit of a chat there with Marcus Smith. Looks like he's going to be positioned directly behind the line out. French Rugby League hoodie, Hamish. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, it's not ideal really, is it? But I have got about 2 others. I got Tonga and I got Cook Islands. Now, moving forward here, a little bit of a rolling maul situation going. Danny Keir going off to the left-hand side. Marcus Smith looking for the cross kick. No, instead will actually set it up for Tyrone Green. Ooh, he's almost been spiked on his head. Round the side, Rodrigo Isgro 1 metre from the line. Danny Keir now having a fight for every inch. He shouldn't have scored that, but he does. 2 big forwards not able to stop Danny Keir from piercing round the side of the breakdown. 2021-22 season of the Stormers was the best season so far, says Jaden. That was the inaugural URC season, wasn't it? Hamish, please send me your email address. Want to have a chat with you on how to start a YouTube channel. A bit of tips, brother, says Andreas. Do you have an Instagram, Andreas? This is probably easier on there. That is, hang on, we'll go like this and we'll go like that. That's the Kiwi Lads Instagram. Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to follow it. We haven't posted anything on it yet, but I do reply to the messages that do get sent to it. You want to get Damien Valimza? He is my brother. You want to get Damien Valimza? As in, like, for an interview, or just like as in for the Stormers? And old man Keir says, Grant, yeah, but he shouldn't have been able to score as easily around the breakdown as he did. Definitely because they held him up for a start. Like, they managed to stop his momentum, and then he just fought his way through, just slipped through them like an eel. Now, Marcus Smith with this kick opportunity, making the score now 12 points to 6. I'm not a Cornwall man, Tim, an Irishman living in Istanbul. Says Brian. Now, 31 minutes into this game, and it is 12 points to 6. And 12-0 to La Rochelle, so a good start to the match for them. Yes, says Whitty. Wait, yes to the first thing that I said, or yes to the second thing that I said? About him being at the Stormers. Oh, big hit coming in on Oscar Beard. Told to use it, Danny Keir. Going to put this one up high. It's going to be swirling. Hard one to get, and Blumikis manages to do well. Oh, they called it as a knock-on? Yes, they have. I don't actually think that one went forward. Yes, for an interview. Says Whitty. I mean, we would be keen. I'm not sure how we would organise it is the only thing. Maybe like that Instagram, I would say. But yeah, it'll be interesting just because at the moment, of course, he is injured, but he will want to get back out there as soon as possible. 32 minutes in, already 8 minutes remaining. Herbst not too far from making his way back out. Immigrating to the east, and Eastern is immigrating to the west. A Romanian Hungarian living in England, and 0-4 for the South African teams this weekend. That is a lie. The Lions won. So they are currently boosting them up quite nicely. Welcome in, Toilet Smithy. I don't know, or unless you're just talking Champions Cup, although in that case it would be 0-3 if the Stormers can't get the job done. And fair play, can't be a lot of rugby over there to watch over there. Says Fleshin. Yeah, no, this pitch isn't holding up too well at the stoop. There's pretty much just massive chunks of dirt getting ripped off. The groundskeeper will be handing in his resignation. saying, I am sick of this every week. Now another scrum reset for an interview with you. Says Whitty in there. I mean, if we're able to organise it, I would of course be keen, but it's just whether or not it is able to be done, because that's the other thing. Normally those guys are locked into contracts that say they can only talk to certain media outlets rather than just anyone. I found that with Super Rugby that it was going to be extremely hard to get anyone on because of the contract that they were locked into, saying pretty much you're restricted to the broadcasters they determine. If the Stormers win, South Africa 2-2, says Brul there. But now that ball's going to come out the back. Now Keir goes to the left. Big shot on James Chisholm. Looks like Keir will be rolling this one back. Is this a soccer pitch? I don't think so. I don't think the Twickenham Stoop is normally a football field, is it? Sebastian will know a little bit better than myself. But that's going to be, once again, another double blow of the whistle. Time's back on. I'm not actually sure what happened there. I think everyone just got wrestled into touch. But Herbst will make his way back on. He was off the field for a little while, but it didn't really cost his side. In fact, it actually helped them. They scored try while he was off the park. Just does well. Quins will have themselves the scrum. So it's Angelo Davids who they've considered as the one who knocked it on. Which seems a little bit harsh. And there's not much, but Turkey has made it to the rankings and are around 40 to 44, around that. I've gone to a couple of games, huge crowds of about 200 people. Says Brian. I've never heard of the Stoop being used for football. I might be wrong though. And to be fair, the way that the pitch is ripping up, I would think that would make it extremely awkward for football, wouldn't it? Because if you got divots and you're kind of going like that, okay with you? I can give him a ring, says Woody. Yeah, if he's keen. We don't want to pester him, of course. He's probably sick of interviews by now, I would think. But if he's keen, see how it goes. Stoop is pure rugby, says Leishon, and scrum's not going well for the Stormers, not helping the confidence. Now Marcus Smith going to be kicking this one towards the sideline again. He's doing well with his kicks today. It's an autonomous territory. How did that scrum penalty go against the Stormers, says Grant? I will be completely honest. I'm not sure because I was slightly looking away. They actually took that scrum very quickly, which was quite cool. Seeing as some of the scrums we have seen have taken like a minute to get up and down. Now Jack Walker with the line-out throw. Sitting 15 metres out for the line. Alex Dombrandt tackled low by Willie Engelrich. Cutting himself, hits it up again. 10 metres between the Quins and a try for the end of the first half. I think, okay, never mind. Dombrandt goes straight through and scores another try. I was about to say, I think they should shift it to the left, but they just didn't need to. Again, the defence of the Stormers is lackluster. Quins definitely on the front foot, absolutely. And that try now gives them their third of the match, which puts them closer and closer to that bonus point win. Good momentum going forward. Then from there, Danny Kerr with just a little pop pass up to Dombrandt. And yeah, it does score that try. Speaking of the contracts, wasn't it Nick White that was down for an interview, got restricted by the Super Rugby contract? That is correct, yeah. Of the about 50 or more players that I messaged, he was the only one who actually replied, which was quite cool. Which is weird because on the field, everyone seems to really dislike him, but off the field, I think he's all right. Maybe. Zero defence from the Stormers, very bad. Oh, that was not great defence, says Grant, and that kick has gone over as well, making the score now 19 points to 6. With still another 3 minutes or so remaining. And Alex Donbrandt showing exactly what he can do. I have Ginger here, but my DNA says that's just coincidence. Says, cool story, bro. I'm merely a humble servant, says Sebastian. Now kick downfield from Tyrone Green. He's given that a fair amount. Gets it down to the halfway line. Stormers, to have a really good chance in this game, they need to score next. They have to get within that 7 points if possible. All right, we go like this. Go like that as well. They're just talking about Tyrone Green. And we will go like that. There we go. And Nick White's mustache replied to you. The rest of him is a bastard, says Grant. A nice run forward from Similani. Stormers on attack. Matia trying to go through Marcus Smith and Oscar Beard. Similani, in fact, this time it is Sunday. We play on. Nkura. On off to the left-hand side. Kick downfield from Duplessis. I don't know if that's the right move. Tyrone Green, did he run that one out? It wasn't a mile off doing it. Going to get ugly second half. It looks like South Africa teams are the bonus point milk cows of Europe Cup Rugby. I love your pronunciation of the difficult South African player names, says Ruben. And first our Sharks got slaughtered. Now our Stormers, what's going on? Says Xander here. Not a great weekend at the moment for the South African sides. But, yeah. It's one of those tricky ones that with the sides being a little bit muddled in terms of who they've got available, mainly due to injury here for this Stormers side. Like, it does hurt. And it's going to be hard to find that chemistry that you once had. They've been told to use it once. Denny Kerr does use it. Passes off to the side. And now, waiting for the siren. Kicks it into touch. And it is halftime now. 19 points to 6. URC side struggling in this competition, says Cited. Then we ask questions about South Africa's Euro Cup performances. Like, are we actually trying? Says Cool Story. What we're going to do is, while we are at halftime, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to check out the Bristol versus La Rochelle game. We might as well see what the score is sitting at for that one, as well as... Okay, so it's 14-0 at the moment from that game. We're just going to go through and look at the tries, including that Jack Knoll one that people have said was an extremely good one. Where are we? Oh, okay. I see the one that we're talking about from before. Your halftime in this one, 19 points to 6. Between these two sides. Hey, old buddy, says Brandon. Welcome in, Brandon. Hope you've been keeping well. Do appreciate you tuning in. Also appreciate you checking out the entertainment channel. You've been keeping an eye on that one, commenting flat out. That looked like a mistake from Jack Knoll, but I think it's actually the try, wasn't it? But, yeah, I think that... Hello, everyone. We're back. The Wi-Fi cut out for half a second, but we're back now. We're rearing to go for some more rugby. It actually did it in the first stream as well, so that's now... Oh, sorry, second stream. So that's 2 out of the 3 streams today have had Wi-Fi issues. I've got the except for Leinster. You're about right. Munster losing 1 and Ulster losing 2. So where's the second try from La Rochelle? It must have been relatively soon. From where I'm up to, yep, there it is. Who scored it? Not Gregory Aldrich by the looks of it. Might have been the rolling maul try. Yeah, they managed to get themselves it right at the end of that rolling maul. But Bristol, they've still got another 2 minutes remaining. So our half between the Harlequins and the Stormers actually went quite smoothly. That's a great cross kick from the Bristol Bears. They're just about to score. Yes, they do. Great work from the Bears. We might be their lucky charm. A network issue, still got bad network. Nothing changes. What a try from Jack Bates. Yeah, brilliant run from the right winger. Gets them back into the game. That one could be quite close. I don't think many people are giving Bristol Bears a chance in that game either. Winning the aerial battle against Leeds. Slides in for that try. But this game currently, ladies and gents, we are currently sitting with 13 points difference between these two teams. It is more than achievable to come back into this match, but they have to get it right early. Because if they make the mistakes and you allow the Harlequins to play their natural game, they will just keep on upping the tempo and they'll keep on rolling and eventually get themselves the win. But if they can at least make it a little bit scrappy, the Stormers, I think they've got the advantage when it comes to the physicality. It's just how they use it. They have to make sure they're making the right decisions. Kick is about to be attempted by the Bristol Bears. 26 seconds remaining in the half. And the score is 14 points to 7. So it could be quite a close one between those two sides as well. Got still more games that are happening tomorrow for the Champions Cup, I should mention. I don't think we have plans of covering any of those ones as of yet. We'll have a quick look and see what it's looking like in terms of who's playing. Maybe we'll consider one. Just will depend on the starting hours on Monday morning for work. But the games that are happening tomorrow, there's Benetton versus Bath, Stade Francais versus Saracens, Toulon versus the Glasgow Warriors, and Exeter versus Toulouse. So, out of all those games, it would probably be Toulon versus Glasgow if we were to cover one. But we'll see how we're getting on in terms of timing-wise. Exactly not that long ago, Georgia started in the same way. And Stormers have now also frozen just like the Sharks, says Ruben. French sides galore, says Sebastian. Yeah, only one game that doesn't involve a French team. In fact, only one game that doesn't involve an English team as well. So, of the URC, we only get to see 2 sides in action. Whereas 3 from the English Premiership and also 3 from the top 14. Halftime between La Rochelle and Bristol. It's sitting 14 points to 7. So we could see a close game there too. I think this chair gets harder and harder each and every week. But still plenty more action sports-wise today. I see that the UFC has taken place. Colby Covington going up against Buckley. Honestly, I don't really know who's going to win that one. So anyone who's a UFC fan, while we are talking about some stats for this first half, let me know who's going to win it, Joaquin Buckley or Colby Covington. But we'll get the Champions Cup stats up and see what it's sitting like. I think it will be overall, like, not hugely one-sided. I think the Quins probably ended up with more ball just because of the amount of penalties that we saw given away. Dobson taking his Curry Cup team to London. So many stupid mistakes, no structure or integrity in their set piece, and they are conceding penalties at will, says Lionel. Yeah, in terms of the match stats so far, we've seen the 3 tries to the 0, so Harlequins only need 1 more to be able to get themselves the bonus point. In terms of attack, we've seen 136 metres made by the Quins, 193 made by the Stormers. Clean breaks are 5 and 5. Defenders beaten, 10 for the Harlequins, 7 for the Stormers. Champions Cup is difficult to watch as a South African. Unreal, I don't know any rugby was still on, says Annoy. Then territory and possession, both in favour actually of the Stormers, 60% in terms of the territory and 53% for the possession. Tackling stats very even, 80% tackling from the Harlequins and 79% tackling from 79 from Harlequins, 80% from the Stormers. Lineouts, 100%, scrums 100%, nothing too random there. And the next one we're talking about is the discipline. 5 penalties against the Stormers compared to the 3 that we've seen from the Quins. Why are the South African team struggling, says Hanoi? Unfortunately, it just seems to be this week in particular. Like, when you look through at the lineups, though, it makes sense. You know, none of them have really stacked their sides for this round of the competition. So I would say that that is one of the big reasons why it's not going to be, like, too one-sided. Like, full strength sides, I think South Africa would have been extremely competitive, but they haven't gone full strength. They've gone with their more experimental teams. Colby will bore it to death, says Fleshin. I hope he doesn't, but at the same time, like, I don't know whether I want him to win or Joaquin Buckley. Like, Buckley seems like he's got more potential being the younger guy, and, you know, he's got that knockout power, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I feel like Covington, if he's going to have one last crack trying to work his way towards the title, it has to be now, or else he's pretty much gone. Other than that, there were quite a few guys on that card that I had no idea who they were. Oh, I'm being honest. So that's always fun when we get to learn a lot of them. In fact, we'll have a look now and see what time that starts. I think it's relatively soon because they are just having fun. Says cool story, bro. Oops. I accidentally almost shared the Otago Daily Times website. That would have been fun. But UFC. There we go. Second half, probably another 5 minutes away, somewhere around there. Are you not working Monday? How you going? Says Soraya. So probably more than likely I'll be working on Monday, which is why doing that stream tomorrow would be a little bit more challenging. But yeah, we'll see. If we don't do it, we'll end up with the URC ones next week. Yeah, looking through at the prelims, they start at 1 p.m. But yeah, there's a whole heap of fights that aren't like ones that I'd normally go, ooh, I'm excited, but I'll still end up watching them all, and they might actually be quite good. Can we get my man Hamish to 1 million subscribers? Hamish, are you still playing cricket? I am indeed, yeah. Ended up playing yesterday. Didn't go that well, but still good to be out there. Do let me know, ladies and gents. In terms of the benches, who's the player for these two sides that you think is going to turn the game around? For the Stormers, I think that maybe Andre Hugo Fenta has a little bit of a chance. But it's just, there's a lack of something for the Stormers team, which is why the starting lineup has to get most of the job done. And they haven't been able to do that so far. So it puts a lot more pressure on these young guys, the inexperienced men, who have to go out there and really just try and change this game because they are down by 13, which is not going to be an easy margin to make up against the Quins side that, like we've said many times, as they get further in the match, that is when they get stronger. So we have to wait and see if that is the case for this one as well. In the chat, we have got quite a few of you guys as well. Hamish, just a question. Do you know what men or when man BBL started? Are you going to cover the games of the BBL? So it actually starts tomorrow or tonight for us here in New Zealand. The first game of the competition. I probably won't cover them on the channel. I think I will be watching them though and just trying to enjoy the comp. But yeah, in terms of, I would like to stream them, but at the same time, I think in terms of the chance of an overlap a little bit later on, it's quite high. Plus, I don't want to only cover some of the games. I feel like I should do all of them, and then we'll just end up way too busy, I'd say. But yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on it. And each weekend, I'm sure we'll give you guys little updates, and you guys will let us know which games you've been watching as well. They're just showing the Olympics high jump. So many BBL comps, it's confusing, says Hanoi. But yeah, the men's KFC Big Bash starting up very soon. Do love a bit of T20 cricket. Watched quite a bit of the Women's World Cup when it was taking place, which was quite good because I was in Australia at the time of some of it, so the time zone wasn't awful. It was actually a lot nicer than watching games at 3 a.m. As an Italian rugby fan, South Africa's done just fine this weekend And very poor Stormers. You play like high school boys. Here's Adrian. And yeah, they do need to find that next gear if they want any chance of winning this matchup. It will not be easy, but they've got the potential to go out there and really do something good here. But they have to score first. It's pretty much the same scenario as that first match that we were talking about for, I think it was Sharks versus, who did we just cover? Sharks versus, how can I not remember? Oh, Leicester Tigers. That was really poor from me. I think my brain's half asleep, so I do have to apologize for that. But yeah, the fact that like the Sharks didn't score first in that second half, they just found themselves going further and further behind. Hamish is crazy. I used to do it, but I moved on to gaming. So here's Brandon. And once there's a few more updates for Rugby 25, we might start a series or two on the game. Like I'm waiting for all the face scans and whatnot for certain teams. Buckley is okay, but Colby could just be a bit too street smart for him. I hope not. See, here's Fleshin. Yeah, it's going to be a good card. That happens in the middle of the night for you, Fleshin, doesn't it, in terms of time zone over there? Do you end up watching them live or do you watch the replays of them instead? Second half just about to take place between these two sides. Alex Dombrand already scoring himself a try in the first half. It's very nicely done. 3 tries already coming for the Harlequins. They need one more to get themselves the bonus point. So it is certainly on the cards. The question is, how soon can they get it done? Because I do feel relatively confident we will see another try for the Harlequins here. Bring back I'll Be a Pro on Rugby Challenge 4. Only OGs will remember that. The only problem with Be a Pro is when you get to a certain point, it just seems to glitch a little bit. Like I actually did play Rugby Challenge Be a Pro probably about a month ago. And, you know, don't tell anyone, but I made myself South African as a halfback. And, like, it just skipped the whole World Cup. I managed to get selected, and then it said, no, you're not playing. Well, no, it said you are playing, and then it didn't select me, and the whole competition was over. So, if it does that, it's very unfortunate. But, like, I still probably prefer it over a lot of the other rugby games. In terms of being able to do that, Be a Pro. I want to do a career mode on the new one, but they haven't actually added that as of yet either. One's going to go into touch there for Marcus Smith. This one will be 5 meters out from the line. It's a good kickoff in the end and just a little bit of obstruction coming in. Salman Morat, the man who was penalised for it. All going to the front. It's going to be a drop ball from James Chisholm, which now gets the possession straight back to the Stormers, who are only 5 meters out from their try line. Knock on advantage, and the advantage is over. Nkura goes straight up the middle of the field. Tyrone Green going to run this one forward. Man, his leg is heavily strapped. That left side looking like it could snap any moment. Danny Kerr puts a ball on the outside to Marcus Smith. Kicks it in behind to Chandler Cunning himself, and it rolls into touch. And come on the Stormers. You South Africa, don't worry. I feed you when I met be Kiwi like you. Monday is a public holiday in South Africa. Nice. What is the occasion for said public holiday? That would be a bit of a long weekend for you. JJ Kutsia 5 meters out from their own line here. The Stormers once again to try and get their line out functioning. Over the top, claimed by the Harlequins. And they are now only 2 meters out from the line. They will look to use their back line more than likely, although they've got big forwards who can get the job done as well. Hamish, you played Rugby 2001 on PS2. I have not. There's another... What's this one for? It's going to be a knock-on first. Ref blowed that whistle. Oh, no, it is now going to be the penalty. Yeah, blew the whistle very aggressively in that case. Now they're 5 meters out from the line. What is the decision? They will once again kick for the corner as they only need one more try to get themselves the bonus point. Schoolboys Stormers. There's Adrian there. And by Hamish, we need to have a talk, but I'm busy, not just on YouTube, but in live, says Brandon. But it is good to see you once again. Do appreciate you popping in to the streams. Now, Jack Walker. They've just said there that James Chisholm is a former high jump champion of his school. That's impressive. I once did not get a participation point for doing high jump because they thought I wasn't trying, but I just couldn't get off the ground. I think gravity holds me down too much, which is also why I can't run properly. But now 5 meters out from the line here, it's a knock on from both sides, and it will go back for the scrum now, I believe. Okay, the refs played about 5 knock-on advantages there. And now it is over. Rugby 08 still the best for me. See, I know that this is controversial, but I prefer Rugby 06 only because, like, I played Rugby 06 for years and years and years with Dad. Like, we'd just play 2-player. Then we tried playing Rugby 08 one time. And that was the only time we played it. We started a World Cup and we decided we'd be the All Blacks. And the very first kickoff of the competition, it did that tackle. You know how they tackle the man in the air, but you can't control it? He did that. Richie McCaw got a red card. And that was all we did on Rugby 08. That was our only moment. And we were like, nah, we'll go back to Rugby 06. We like it better. But I think there were more options on Rugby 08 in terms of what you could do a little bit. Danny Kerr. Another big shot coming in on Finn Baxter. Marcus Smith. Across to Dom Brandt. They have reconciliation. Says Albert. Now Danny Kerr. Quick hands. That looked forward from Hammond. So they will go back again. A Christmas around the corner, Hammy. Home or away? Says Spider-Mick, home for Christmas, I believe. Away for New Year's, though, at this point. Does seem like it is going to be the plan. Over 2001 was the time of joy. Says, cool story, bro. Showing there, Dom Ramp milks the penalty. So they've decided to actually call for the kicking tee here, the Harlequins. They've been persisting with going for the going for the corner, trying to find a way through, but it hasn't worked out this time. It's like a bit of a bleeding lip for one of the players as well. No more Storms. Says William Moses. Yeah, it hasn't been the best day for the Stormers so far. Their discipline's let them down. Just too many mistakes. Marcus Smith now ready to line up this kick. What happened to the men that should play for the Stormers, or else there is a problem with their coaching team? Just injuries, pretty much. They've got an injury list of about 15 or 20 players, which sounds like an exaggeration, but I don't think it is. Like, 15's probably about there. In terms of that back line, you know, there's at least 5 guys, if not more, who are all out with injury. The forwards, definitely the loose forwards, have been brutal this season in terms of the injuries that have been picked up. Kick goes over from Marcus Smith. 22 points to 6 now. Going to be another loose ball, but I believe it's going to be play on. 25 metres out from the line. Unkura goes across to Sandy. They need a try and they need it now. Now Mattia with the inside ball to JJ Kutsia. Unkura again. Back across to, I think it was Salman Moura. Thanks so much. Mum says good night and thank you. Well, good night to your mum and to you as well, I assume. And also, how much you think 315 for 9 is a good score for New Zealand versus England? I don't actually think so. I think that once again, they've gone a little bit low and they needed really 450 or 400 at least. Yes, they've still got time, but more than likely they'll be bowling pretty soon. Going to visit Mum's family next week, Hammy. Just me and Mum, not Dad. First time visiting England, says Spider Mix. Hopefully you do enjoy it. I know it's a long flight, but after that, once you're there, hopefully you're able to really take in the atmosphere. Nkura now goes across to Mattia, and wide to Sinatla. I'm working in a bar tonight, unable to watch the match. Thank you, man, for watching for us. says Urian. Well, hopefully it's all going smoothly. Must be about, if you're in South Africa, that'll be 11 p.m. at the moment. Is it still busy in your bar, or is it calming down a little bit? I guess with the Stormers game on, they're probably all popping in, are they? And Cheetah's 10 card at 5, says Albert. So the Cheetah's doing all right at the moment for themselves. Loose ball and still there for the Stormers. Looked like it was wobbling around all over the place in the breakdown. That has been a trend of the day. Oh no, I'm going to sleep now. Big loss for my team. Good morning. It's 5:10 a.m. in Taiwan. Says Dion, I should say. And what time is it by you? At the moment, it is 10:11 a.m. So I'm certainly feeling it. And as we've been up for most of the night, we are now into our 6th hour of live streams, I believe. Oh, back into the pocket. Mateo. Why? You're losing by miles. He gets it over, but I just don't agree with that tactic. Like, maybe if they end up winning this game by a thin margin, I'll be like, yep, what a play that was. But, Grant, you'll be the perfect man to talk to about this. The ref also got in the way of the charge down, which didn't help. But what do you think, Grant? Is this the right idea? Going for a 3-point when you're down by 3 tries? Oh, I've just said a wasted opportunity there for the Stormers. Droppy was a good choice. Keep the scoreboard ticking. They're still down by 13. And they've been very ill-disciplined. So I worry that they're just going to give away a penalty straight away. They've just knocked the ball on 22 metres out from their line, and now they've given away a penalty. Harlequins can go for 3 if they want it, or they can look to be a bit more aggressive and go for the corner. Willie Engelbrecht pushing away Danny Kerr, who was trying to give him a bit of a cuddle. And hi, Olin Hamish says, was there from Robert, welcome in. But actually should coach the Stormers too. They're playing really poor. Says the Stormers fan constantly tell everyone they are the cradle of South African rugby. All the injuries should not be an excuse. Sharks and Bulls also had no strength today. Yeah, Willie Engelbrecht not happy about being touched by Danny Kerr. Do you think about our light-saving hammy? Back to old ways, you wreck? What do you think about our light saving? Is it like daylight saving? Have they changed it? I didn't realise they had changed it if they have. Andre Hugo Fenta, who's the captain of the Stormers. It is Salman Moura for this game. I believe anyway. Right. Andre Hugo Fenta makes his way onto the field now. Ready to go. Now 30 minutes remaining. And they will kick it for the corner again. If this one is a try, I do think that drop kick does backfire. They're just too ill-disciplined to keep Harlequins out of their 22 after getting their former points. Although stolen. Oh, no. Free kick. Number 1 closing the gap. Another free kick. Looks like they are going to go for the tap. And they will do so. Chuck and Jack Walker at the try line. Danny Kerr offload to Dombrand. He's hit hard by David Ewers. Bit of a counter-ruck. Looked like it was coming on for the Stormers. Big rolling maul almost opening up around the side again. Inches from the line. Now it looks like Hurst is going to have a crack. Oh, they didn't use the back line. I think they're calling for a deliberate knock-on. And Stormers come on. Bulls and Stormers basically out of this tournament, failing to get points at home. Who knows, maybe a Challenge Cup final between them. Would be pretty awesome to see them go head-to-head for the Challenge Cup, but still a lot of work to do before they can confirm that competition as well. Now around the side again. No penalty advantage. Danny Kerr tries to drop his head. Passes off to Marcus Smith, who was running backwards. Will try the cross kick. It's gone extremely high. Ball is loose, and it's going to go back now. Double blow of the whistle. And Rodrigo Isgro, I think they were apologising to each other. Hamish, something should be said about the Sharks not even trying. It's a disgrace. Says Kevin. Geez, Hamish is still going strong there. Hello, everyone. And I've got to get some shut-eye. It's way too late and Stormers don't look great. South African team's fading fast at the end of the year. Says Ruth. Okay, number 5, deliberate knock on. And that is going to be Stephen Nkura, the number 9. So to lose your halfback at this stage of the game, it's just going to go from bad to worse for the Stormers. But at least they've got 3 sets of 3. Ruth Hamish is a machine that has to be admired, says Kevin. And good night, Ruth. Sleep well, says Kernovek. But yeah, not really in a catching position. You could argue chance of a penalty try, but I do think that Nkura, I don't actually know if he deliberately knocked that one on. He was just going for a tackle and got the ball with Dom Brandt not facing him. The Quins, the sooner they can secure this 4th try, the happier they will be moving into the later stages of this match. The last thing that you want to do is leave it to the final minute. And by all, Hamish leaves everyone in the dust. And Quinn's going to score again. Yeah, the rolling maul looking well set here. Only a couple metres out from the line. They're over. Marcus Smith fired up. Happy with the bonus point try. Not too sure who's actually come up with that try. Might have been Walker. No, it wasn't. It was Alex Dombrandt, who pops up with the ball in hand. Up to 53 minutes, and that is now the bonus point for the Harlequins. Tell you what, it's going to be tricky to pick the URC derbies next week because neither of these sides that are going to be playing, you know, Sharks versus the Bulls, Stormers versus Lions. Lions are probably the informed team out of all of those sides. It looks a nice cold night there, says Annoy. Now Marcus Smith lining up the kick. I don't know whether you could see, but I was trying really hard not to close my eyes just then. I got the game on, and Hamish, best commentator, says Robert V. Now Smith kicks it up. Oh, hey Hamish, being an embarrassed Bull supporter, and the Stormers being my least liked South African team, local arch rival. Go the Stormers. It's Saturday, so obviously the clubs and bars will be open until 1 a.m. on Sunday here in South Africa, says Vaughan. I like how you said so obviously, as if I would know the exact schedules of bars in a country I don't live in. But, like, I think, because I'm also from a small town, our pub closes at like 12 most nights, if not 11. You must go sleep after the game, says Araya. Yeah, I think it's going to be due. And we have got there. At this point, I just want the Stormers to get through this without any more injuries. And enjoy the rest of the match. Get some rest, Hamish. English clubs are giving the Southern Hemisphere a thumping. Hamish, one thing is for sure, you kept us all very informed. And for that, we are truly grateful, says Kevin. No worries at all. And we are going to be back for the South African derbies next week. You should do a stream for the heavyweight title fight next weekend. Usyk versus Tyson Fury. We've done a boxing one before. We did Fury versus Usyk. Oh, no, sorry, we did Joshua versus Usyk. And that was the one where Joshua did that weird post-fight, like, celebration. So if it says sleep, it will be sleeping soon. But for now, we've got 25 minutes. Could argue that the Stormers went to sleep about 50 minutes ago. Now chasing after this one, Rodrigo Isgro manages to slap it back onto the side of the Quins. Finn Baxter, Chandler Cunningham himself, now off to Walker. Smith looking for the 50-22. Bounces in the field of play. I'm pretty sure Stormers throw this game away on purpose, says Spider Mick. Well, you'd have to hope so. Because if they came into this game expecting this side to do well, they certainly haven't done that. Stormers been asleep 55 minutes already, says Cited. And thanks, Spider, no moaning or snoring, just like a kitten. See you next time, says Ruth. Oh, not able to take that one cleanly for either of the two men who went up for it, but it bounces back onto the side of the Quins. Marcus Smith again looking for the 50-22. Back there is Sinutla. Not known for his kicking, so gives it off to Clayton Blomekes. Gets the short ball. Oh, he's tried to throw it back and giving it straight to Tyrone Green. And the Sharks played like guppies. The Bulls played like cows. Stormers played like a drizzle. Here's Kevin. Yeah, the English clubs are giving us Savas lashing this weekend. Congrats, says Danny. Or says Daniel, I should say. And also, have a good night's sleep, Roof. Just a knock-on advantage for the Stormers. Andre Hugo Fenta goes over the top of Danny Kerr. Oh, that's his knee gone. Unfortunately, yeah, he's done for the season. The way that he fell there, it could be the end of him. And he is not going to be continuing. His knee got stuck and just bent the wrong way. He's back up. What? He's back up. The way that he reacted there and the way that he bent, it looked like he was going to be out for 9 months. But now he's back on his feet running around. So I don't know what he did. Maybe just twisted it awkwardly and then he put it back in and he's good to go. But yeah, I thought he was going to be in a bit of trouble. Daniel, thanks. It's crazy how things fell flat for the South Africans, says Ruth. Nicely taking another high ball for Rodrigo Isgro. Now Danny Kerr kicks it in behind, being chased by Dom Brandt. And Hamish, our pub, you must have more than one. 1.5 maybe. Like one of them's not really known as a pub. It's more of a like a restaurant, but not quite. Like it's kind of like a sports bar, but it's like not really, if that makes sense. Dom Brandt gets another out wide. As our African team's lucky they didn't get locked into the same pool as Leinster. He's destroying dumb people, but a hat trick for Alex Dom Brandt. He has been on form today. And once again, just using their backline, making it look easy as they like. And they're just doing very good. Thanks ever so much for your endless entertainment, says Ruth. Danny Kerr just brings in someone, straightens with his run, so then lures the defence in that little bit more. It's just good rugby from the Quins. The Wolves were a strong team, but not strongest. Hrubala, Nokia, Visa, Ludwig, Marco, SP, out injured, and Kurtli Aronsa in Japan. But no excuses, they were horrible in Euro matches. Bigger problems at Loftus, and subscribe and hit the like button. I found this a little bit funny because I am from Cape Town and the Stormers is my franchise team, but I never had any faith in them whether it's when it's in Europe. And Roof, anyone who comes here once will always come back. That's fact, says Kevin. Sometimes. I think we've scared a few people off in the past. Like after the World Cup, we drastically dropped in terms of subscriber numbers. Even throughout this week, because we hadn't been posting videos midweek, I think we lost about 50 subscribers throughout the week leading up to this weekend. But that's just due to people going, oh, well, not posting, so bye-bye. That's all right. Who's your favourite Curry Cup team? Oh, I don't know, to be honest. Like, I like the fact that the Requas and the Pumas are doing quite well in terms of being competitive. The same with the Cheetahs, but... Did I say the Requas and the Cheetahs and then I said and the Cheetahs? Or did I say the Pumas? Somewhere in there. And the Sharks trash, Bulls trash, now Stormers trash. Always the South African cockiness. Says destroying dumb people in the local pubs up the road, closed between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. Rowdy and drink up there. Or rowdy and drunk up there, I should say. And all the URC, says Vaughan. It's a hard fall for the Quins lot. At number 5 jersey, Sinatla's off the field for 10 minutes now with the yellow card. How's La Rochelle Bristol going at the moment for that game? We'll quickly get the score up. And we'll see exactly how they're going. But yeah, 14-7 at half-time in that one. Now it is 19-7. Lavani Bortia just scoring the try. Oh, not finding touch with that one for the Harlequins. I wonder if the Sharks, the Bulls, and the Stormers are going to sleep well, knowing this was served up to us. And the Boomers lost Boomers. Thanks, everyone. Love you all. Nice stepping from Tyrone Green. Still 20 minutes remaining. So this scoreline could get even more ugly. Blomikis was up extremely early. Oh, knock on from the Quins. So it is going to be now scrum feed for these Stormers. Natler is not happy with this yellow. Ended up taking the man out in the air on their podcast. Skogberger and Jean de Villiers predicted the South African teams would lose this round. To be fair, all of the South African teams, with the exception of the Bulls, came in as underdogs. So they have gone with very experimental sides. So that's probably a fair prediction. But did they predict for them to lose this badly is probably the bigger question. Like the Sharks, to lose by the margin they did was awful. The Bulls, like they could have won that game by 30, but they just kept butchering their chances every chance that they had. I will mention next weekend we will not be as tired, ladies and gentlemen. I will try and strategically get a few more hours of sleep before the streams. I don't know what's happened with these ones, but I think it's the fact that I tried to have a nap before the first stream and then I tried to nap in between the next two streams. And 2 naps seemed to not work for me. They seem to have hit me for 6. Now Clayton Blumikis again. Ready to feed this ball in. South Africans will be cocky again. When we won our 5th World Cup, says Eric. And Stormers have a bad Euro trip. And Leinster played awful, couldn't win a single line out and still won the game. To them and to lose final again. And the last thing before I crash onto the duvet, the scores have been big on the English sides, huge wins for them. Says Roof. Yeah, some pretty high scoring games for the Champions Cup throughout this round. Maybe the teams are tired now, they need a break. Says Hooray, and sadly they don't get it. Next week, they are straight back into the action. Hamish Jungle Oats is the answer. My granny always told me. What are Jungle Oats? Is that just oats with a whole heap of, I guess, extra stuff in there? Now another scrum feed. It's like Sandy will make his way off. And the Stormers, they will make the changes. Welbeck will make his way on. I'm slowly leaning further and further back. Our Jungle Oats is porridge. Okay. I've actually never had porridge in my life, which is quite interesting. I've had oats before. Like I put oats in a smoothie and that goes all right. But yeah, never had porridge. I've never had a lot of things though, now that I think about it. Still haven't had tea or coffee in my whole existence. Now, kicked him high from Tyrone Green. Ball bounces awkwardly off the deflection. And they don't take it quickly. I've said a little bit of a dummy play off the back. But yeah, just not a good day at the office, I think is the way to describe it. I was actually hoping that the Sharks would give the Tigers a game. I was hopeful too. Like, on paper, those two lineups seemed like they were going to have some very entertaining rugby, and sadly only one side did provide that. But, like, this game as well, like, Stormers, yes, they had a few differences, but they still had a side that could be competitive. Oh, that's great work from Rodrigo. Isgro got it off to Tyrone Green. Isgro plays halfback. Going through, that's going to be a deliberate knockdown, I believe. Now Marcus Smith, he's looping around the backside. And surprised they haven't gone back for that. Salman Mura going to kick it downfield. He has just showed exactly why he doesn't normally kick. Smith goes across to Rodrigo Isgro, sells the dummy. Oh, the whole defensive line coming across to get him. I wish the URC final can be a South African derby, man. I mainly want Stormers versus Sharks. Says Safe. And then now backline movement again. Alex Dombrand. He's only gone and almost helped his teammate. No, did they keep it alive? They might have. Yes, they did. And Murley scores again. The Quins have a chance to bring up more than 40. My sister loves porridge. I hate it, to be honest. Says Spider Mick. And also, dumb people, good point. Also, destroying dumb people, good point. Let's have one every URC game and 2 European Champions Cup games while playing badly. If they actually do start playing like they normally do, they'll be dynamic. It's very nicely done. Keep the ball alive. How was the Springbok game of the year? How was the Springbok game for the year? As in, like, what was their best game? I'm not actually sure what the best one was. Like, the 2-match series up against Ireland were very intense, very close. Dombrant probably player of the match. He's got to be. He's had 3 tries. He's done great with the ball in hand. Almost had another assist there. Novar and Twizel. There probably is. I'd have to ask one of my cricket teammates, as they are from Twizel. And back in Super Rugby, 12 to 14 days. You have 14 or 16 matches in a row. A full strength team's highest level and the more difficult travelling. All the South African Euro and URC. We are tired talk. We must rest now. It's nonsense. Says Eric. Looks like Marcus Smith now. He will make his way from the field for the Harlequins. So his day is done. Assume he will be back in action next week when they do play the Saracens. The Savage Unscripted guys will be crying on Monday, says Brian. Although it's still very early on, as long as they make it out of the group stage, that's the main thing. Oh, nice run down the wing here. Once again, the Quins in open space. Skip past the Dombrant. He could have had 4, but he gives it off to his teammate. And Murley gets his second. That is unselfish from Dombrant there. So glad that we got that investment from Red Deezer. Stormers are a disgrace, to say the least. Play like a bunch of drunkards. I support them because I'm loyal. I don't disagree to play on this level. Or they don't deserve to play on this level. What a disgrace. Play like a... I'm not sure what that is, so I won't read it out. But I assume it's not a good thing. I would think from Yappy there. There's 3 of them. Says Robert V. I know Monday is a holiday. I do. Someone said before that it was. Someone chucked their drink everywhere when that try was scored. What on earth has happened to South African teams today? Yeah, it just hasn't been a good day. I mean, Lions did well winning their game. Are you satisfied with the winners for the New Zealand Awards? I haven't even seen what happened for the New Zealand Awards, if I'm being honest. I'm surprised to be over the moon. Well, I'm supposed to be over the moon with what's happening, but it feels wrong somehow. I wanted the Quins to win, but also looked close or looked forward to a closer contest. All Rugby World cannot ignore box as the best. When it really matters, says Eric. That kick has gone over, so now 46 points to 9. There's still 12 minutes remaining. Like, there could be 60 points, and this is absolutely destroying the points differential for the Stormers here. And Monday holiday, which country? For South Africa. Conrad is winning the Curry Cup, I think. Says destroying dumb people. And also Quinn should get the 50 now. I think so. I think they've got time and they've really started cutting them open now. So, yeah, I think we're going to see another try. I honestly think we could see 2 or 3. It's been a bad day for the South African side. I was hoping we'd have at least a couple close games. But everything's just gone the opposite direction. 3 South African teams chipped 132 points in total so far this round. Yeah, which is it's just far too many. I always closed my eyes for too long when I blinked there. Be happy if the Stormers could pull just 1 try back here. It's a huge defeat for the Stormers. Very disappointing, says Brian. And like showing the table, right? It's going to be an important one. The points differential for the Stormers was -10. At the moment, if this was the score when the game ends, the Stormers would have a minus 47, I believe, on the standings, which just puts them straight down. No points either. But Harlequins, they've looked good throughout this game. It's a huge defeat for the Stormers. Very disappointing. Says Brian. The referees just said something. I couldn't quite pick it up due to the accent. I really feel for Pawson Nat Libet, yeah. I should have stick to sevens. And JC Mars' debut. Big things expected from this young man. I think they're going to look at something here. Oh, it's the head-on-head from Angelo Davids. Why? That now means that if he gets yellow carded, JC Mars probably won't come onto the field, will he? Clear head contact. Was what that Monday for RC? What that Monday for RC? What do you mean? Spider Mick. Sold to the UF for rugby supporters on Hamish's rugby convention. Right, number 14, he will be going to the bin for the next 10 minutes, which is pretty much going to take it through. Yeah, so Mars has to come back off the field because Angelo David's got a yellow card. So now JC Mars' debut has gone from 12 minutes to 2 minutes, maybe if he's lucky at the end of this game. Stormers are gone from this competition, I think, and struggling in the URC too, says Brian. Yeah, like I said, we won't be this tired next week. I don't know what's happened for today that's made it so different. I don't think I'm going to be doing the naps in between the games. I think that was my downfall. Now Tyrone Green, I should say. Can't believe the score. It's going to be a nightmare for the Stormers. Right, the rolling maul. Nicely done by the Stormers. They will now get themselves the scrum feed. Playing with 13 men on the field at the moment. John Dobson not happy, but what can you do? When the score sits like this, you're just out of the game. No coming back. King, Ace King says a lollipop there. With both Stormers and the Bulls out of big league rugby, they can both focus on URC Little League Rugby. Congrats, says Eric. Oh, there's Damien Valimza, I believe. Was mentioned earlier on that he was in the coaching box. He's wearing the Where's Waldo or Where's Wally attire. We have there the Stormers can get a try now. It would be a nice consolation, says Brian. They won't be a mile off. They've gone out wide there. Simalani gets the ball in his hands, and that's another penalty going to the Harlequins. We have got there, if the Stormers can get a try now. Oh no, I read that one. Now 10 minutes remaining in this match. I'm trying my best to keep my eyes wide awake. But the bright lights are getting to them. Looks like a couple more changes being made here for the Quins. It'll bring on, I think that's Jack Kenningham at number 19. And Will Porter. Oh no, it's Harry Brown. I got it around the wrong way. This 10 minutes must really fly quick because, Jamie, you are really, really tired. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know why. I think it's just because I tried to sneak naps in between the games. Like before the first match that we covered, I probably got like an hour and a half sleep. And then in between the next two games, I managed to get like an hour. So obviously I'm not designed for napping. I think I've learned that loud and clear. And Double K, centre A of a game. Mattia puts it into touch. No, I was getting a bit excited for the Stormers for a moment. Cheers, Brian. Although they've kicked it for the corner now. So there's half a chance. Right, this line-out throw, they have to score now. Just to give them some confidence. We've got to remember, up till this point, they haven't actually scored a try. Still 40-plus minutes to go. Or who you support. Says Daniel, which game are we talking about? Daniel, for this one? A nap between your games, specifically, or especially at 3 a.m. my time. You're not designed for napping, you are a robot. Says Spider-Man, kick downfield and put into touch again by the Quins. Come on, Quins, get your 50. So we've got 8 minutes remaining at the moment in this game. So we will ask the question, ladies and gents, will the Harlequins get 50 points? Yes or no? Which one are you picking? I want to say yes. Good Lord, what was that? Says Grant. That's pretty much summed up the whole game, hasn't it? It's just mistake after mistake. Now Nkura. Short ball. Straight to Jonathan Roach. Now Matia. Oh, yeah, no, that's bad. Just getting it straight into the hands of Tyrone Green. The benefit is he's actually kicked it out on the full. So Stormers will gain territory from that moment. I'll go for the Stormers to get the last breakaway try, says Brian. And I'm trying to pull myself away from you folks. So what's the weather conditions on the field? Like, it just looks a bit cold. No rain, not a lot of wind. Like, definitely playing conditions that should suit them. And I think Harlequins have shown that you can score tries when you play well in these conditions. It's raining tries. Says Lollipop there. Now rolling maul chance for the Stormers. Going off to the right. Just no chance at the moment. Oh, another penalty, this time going the way of the Quins. First man locked over the ball, 6 minutes left. Can't come soon enough for the Stormers side. They will just want to get home. They've got a game next week. They're up against the Lions. They will have to play a lot better than this. Of course, they will have a couple players returning from injury, but not a huge amount of them. Now 6 minutes remaining. That was the big man, Dylan Lewis, the Welsh international. And come on, ref, says Spider-Mech. A little bit of wear and tear for Gary Porter. Oh. Referee blowing his whistle saying that there wasn't a clear gap in the middle of the line out. So we'll use up an extra minute here. Stormers equals Scarlets. Both are traditional great teams. Are they just lacking nowadays? Says Fleshin. Well, they do decide to go to the front again. They're the Harlequins. Now, great backline movement. Ball on the outside of Green. One more. Murley. He will be lurking around somewhere trying to get himself that hat trick. And 50 plus guaranteed. Says Lawson. Evans. Back across to Rodrigo Isgro. Now 22 minutes. Oh, that's another advantage going against the Stormers. Sell the dummy from Isgro. Gets spiked down on the ground. Yay, 50. I can go sleep now. Says Saito. Pick and go. Round the side. Danny Kerr gets another offload. Have they got over? Yes, they have. Sam Riley scores. And over 50 points now on the board for this Harlequins team. It's just not even that close. Don't tell me that. All South African teams going down just like that. We've seen 3 games in the Champions Cup, 0 from 3 for the South African sides, whereas in the Challenge Cup, we actually saw the Lions get themselves the victory. And I'll just have a very quick look to see if the Cheetahs got the job done as well. Cheetahs did not. 26 points to 10 with only 7 minutes remaining. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting see the full-time score in that one. How many did we see in the last game, ladies and gents, points-wise? Just trying to remember what it was. Do I have it? Oh, 56-17. The Harlequins still have another 3.5 minutes to try and add those extra 4 points. More than doable. Great offload from Danny Kerr as well, managing to find exactly the man he was after. Crowd loving that one. Will they have the time for another converted try? 60 points? I think they do. Still 3.5 minutes remaining in this game, so plenty of time to be able to go out there and once again just cross the try line. Like the Stormers, I don't think their defense will hold up for more than 2 minutes if the Harlequins have consistent attack. And also, I don't think their discipline has been able to hold up pretty much at all throughout this game. Tyrone Green goes across there to Alex Dombrand. He tries to break through 2 tackles. Looks like someone has stayed down, but now quick hands on the outside. Jared Evans. We didn't need this to prove our theory right about SRB is happy at their demise. And I got an eye open. South African teams suck this weekend. Give me New Zealand any day now out the back line. And he's kicked it out on the full. It will go right back to where it was kicked from. Chandler Cunning himself. He was laughing. Then he saw himself on the big screen and decided to exaggerate his laugh a little bit. Always a showman. Old Chandler Cunning himself. Now 2 minutes and a half left. Andre Hugo Fenta. Is there a try around the corner? Well, they're saying they've got another trip to the Northern Hemisphere in January and then another one after that. So they have to start learning how to win when they are away from home. This is another injury here. Who is that? It's one of the... Is that Connor Evans? He's going to have to make his way off. Looks like Danny Kerr is going to make his way on for him. The Irish and the French basically are going to dominate the Champions Cup. And oh no, not another injury. Yep. Another injury, sadly, for the Stormers side. Just got far too many. How to motor up play. He hasn't done anything crazy good. Like, he's been active, which is nice. But, yeah, like, I wouldn't say he's had an absolutely incredible game. But he also hasn't been too bad throughout the 80 minutes. So I'll probably give him like a 6 out of 10. Lineouts have been relatively strong. Yes, it was Connor Evans. See, here's Grant. Now Davids goes across to the right-hand side. Nkura. Inside ball. Now back to the right-hand side again. For Sanatlu, who's made his way back out there onto the field. Quick hands, Similani. Going on the outside. In fact, no, they get it back on the inside to Similani, who gets one more pass away. Can they get there? Yes, they can. The young 23, JC Mars. He's only been on the field for a very limited amount of time and does already score the try. Only block level player today, Heineken. Says Eric. Yeah, he looked really good in that game. I've said he's got a bit of Cheslin Colby about him. The way that he plays. I assume that's not just because of the headgear. And destroying dumb people. Saracens are looking good as well, though. And yes, JC, the comeback is on. Says Grant. Well, that is the first of many needed for the Stormers side. 3 more would get them a bonus point, but they'd have to do it in about a minute. So that doesn't seem very likely at all. Mattia looking around for a scoreboard. Or a clock anyway. The kick is over. And now 25 seconds remaining in this game. I'm never napping before a live stream again. This has been brutal throughout that one. And my eyes have never been so heavy, but it's a learning lesson, I will say. And can the Stormers make the comeback and win, says Destroying Dumb People. Oh, Alex Domrant gets player of the match for what he was able to do. But yeah, the Stormers cannot come back to get this game under their belt. We're up to 80 minutes now. Stormers looking to run it forward. Counter ruck from the Quins, not successful. Now passing it out to Similani. Bit of rush defense on him. Ref didn't sound like he was too happy with that last breakdown. Looks like the Stormers are going to continue to attack for as long as they can. Similani. Float away again. Oh, a little bit of a counter ruck there. The Quins had it. Though it's taken straight back by Salman Moura. It's going to become a rolling maul, is it? No, it's back on the side of the Quins. They've made the mistake, so that will be the end of this game. 53 points to 16. A comfortable one for the Harlequins at home. And the Stormers, they are now the third South African side in the Champions Cup to suffer a loss for this round. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Next weekend, we have got the URC that we are going to be covering on the channel. In terms of what is coming up, it is Stormers versus Lions at 2:45 a.m. New Zealand time. So that will be 3:45 p.m. for you guys in South Africa on Saturday. And then there is another game happening later on. As you can see there, the Sharks versus the Bulls also taking place. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And of course, we will see you all for the next one.